Hey there. So, as we talked in last video, we have get all the idea what we are gonna do in the project. Okay, it will have admin portal and it will have upload job portal and also the recruiter portal. So we have talked about it in last video. And by moving forward, let's talk about the how to make project, how to build it, and how to work on it. So let's start the video. Okay. So there are two ways to make a new project. Okay. So the simple way is from VS Code. Okay. So I always make my project with using VS Code of palette and then create my own project and then Java and then uh, here company's name means my name. Okay, and then project's name. So project name would be Java Backend Job Portal App Backend, and just like that, enter and whatever we want. So I want the file in jar. So and 21. So I'll tell you that by like what people prefer to make a video make a project. So I'll show you another way also, but this is my way to make project. Okay, so we are adding dependencies, dev tools, lombok, and then we are using PostgreSQL. So PostgreSjava and then um, JPA, Java Persistent API, and then Spring Web is important. And yeah, I think that is enough. JDBC, no, yeah. So that's it. I think we have added five, one, two, three, four, five, five dependencies. Press enter and select the folder. So let's select the folder. It's YouTube, not here. Here, okay. And it will automatically generate and unzip the folder. We don't need to do anything. Okay. And by people how the people do these projects, so they go on the website which is called spring uh, spring boot initializer. Okay, and on spring boot initializer they make new project just like that. Here we start project and but that is not preferred way. They don't prefer like that. So start.spring.io, they go on the start on spring.io and then Java Heaven and then whatever build tool you want to use, so you can, and the language is Java and the version of Spring Boot is 3.5.0 and the group and artifact ID here would be just like this job portal backend. Okay, job portal backend, and then yeah, we have done. And Java's latest version is 24, but the long-term support version is 21. Okay, so that's why I'm using 21. And it's time to add some dependencies. So Lombok and then DevTools and Postgres driver, and then again GPA and remaining is what is remaining? Postgres, DevTools, Lombok, Spring Data, GPA. Homework has been done. Let me see what is remaining. Let me start. Spring Web is remaining. So Spring Web, and that's it. And click on generate. And if you want to add any, so you can. Okay. So generate, and it is automatically download the folder and just open it in File Explorer and extract here. Um, where is extract? Yeah, extract all and extract here. So that will automatically extract. And yeah, why I show you this formula to make a project, because so many people are using this, because they are using IntelliJ and Spring Boot Suite, whatever it is. But I use VS Code, so that's why I prefer to make projects from VS Code. So just like that, you can open with VS Code, and that will automatically open. We don't need to do anything. Okay. So as we already made a project, so let's start work on it. Okay. So we have to make here entity class firstly. Okay. So entity package, not package, entity folder. Okay. Entity called entity. There is annotation in Java which is entity. So always use the folder names with S, like entities, entity, yes, entities. Okay, and we will need controller also. So controllers, controllers, and then we will need service. So there are annotations like controller, entity, and service. So that's why it will conflict with each other. So that's why we are using S in front of it. Okay. So service, services, services. Okay, and then again it will require repositories, repositories, and yeah, that's it. So let's make here a file which is name is a job portal. So job.java, and in this job it will the main entity folder. So it will main entity file where we will add some entities, real world entities into the software. Okay, so just like private, private string. Oh, firstly we have to take here ID. So private long ID. Okay, and private string, job name, and private string, job title, private string, job location, and private string, job salary. Okay, so these much things it will contain, and uh, we can do one thing also. Instead of adding here job name and job title, job location, so we can just do title and location and keep everything small. Okay, because it will conflict in PostgreSQL. Okay, salary, job name, job title, salary, location, and private string, the company name. Okay, and this much field we will have in our project, and I'm not adding that much because we don't require it that much. If you want, so you can add, or like if you don't want to, so you can delete some of them also. Okay, so let's add here. Firstly, let's annotate it with entity. So uh, the JDK will understand that Spring Boot will understand that it is entity class. Okay, entity, and we have added the Lombok dependency here. Yeah, here we have added Lombok dependency. So because of that, we don't need to create getters and setters by ourselves. If you want to create, so you can, but it is not required. So we can just annotate here, add annotation here, which is getter and setter. Okay, getter and setter, and then uh, what is showing error there? It is import. Yeah, yeah, and then all args constructor and no args constructor. Yeah, so that much things we have to implement here. Okay. Yeah, so we have added everything into, but we haven't configured it for we haven't configured it for our Postgres SQL table name and all. Okay, so let's add here at the red table annotation, which will tell the Postgres its name is table. So it is not required, but we are for type safety we are adding here. Okay, and table name job, and then after that. Here we have need to add ID annotation. It will tell Spring Boot that it is the primary key. Long ID is the primary key of the database. Okay, so it is the primary key, and after that, uh, string like we have to generate it like automatically. Uh, because once we have added ID1, so again we are trying adding ID1, so it will conflict with each other. So that's why next time it will automatically generate the ID2, and we don't need to take care of anything. Okay, so generate generated value and strategy is equal to generation type dot identity. So that's it, and I think job entity has been done, and if anything is remaining, so we'll come back to job entity. Okay, but for now I think here is nothing to do with job entity, but if anything required, so we'll come back. Okay, so let's move further, and let's add some job into the service layer, and let's configure it into repositories also. Let's make it run fast. Okay, so in the repositories, we have to um, add here job repository dot Java. Okay, so we have to add here an annotation which called repository. Okay, so it will tell Spring Boot that it is repository, and let's add some. It is not class; it is interface. Okay, it is interface, and it will extend another interface which is called JPA repository. Okay, so extends JPA repository, and here we will add our entity class. How we will add? So let me tell you. So we have to add here by job comma and then long ID. Yeah, just like that. Um, will it work? No. Job and then long ID. Sorry for that. And we don't need add here id also. It will work on long run only. Okay. So job and log. So we don't need to take care of entities and repositories. So here we are here to work with only the service layer and the controller layer. Okay. So by moving forward, let's implement the controller layer, service layer. Okay. So yeah, in service layer, uh, let's implement first the create job. Okay. But for it, we have to create job service, job, JobService.java, and in controller also, let's make job controller. So then there we will not need any file to make again. Okay. So job controller.java. Okay. So let's tell Spring Boot it is a controller, a REST controller. Okay. REST controller, and here Spring thread service layer. It is service layer. Okay. So controller and service layer, and we are gonna work with those. Okay. So service layer. Let's AutoWire. If you don't know what is AutoWire, so AutoWire is the thing that we can auto wire without making an object of another class, another like without making object of repositories. We can add like we can use here. Yeah, we are making object, but we are not how before we were making objects like um, job repository is equal to new job repository. Okay, so before that was the traditional way to make an objects. Okay, but uh, now we don't need to do that much stuff. We we just need to add an annotation here, which is auto wire, and Spring Boot will do it by itself, and we don't need to create it object, and we don't need to a Spring Bean, and there is something called Spring uh, dependency injection that will automatically do. So. Um, if we are gonna learn something if I'm gonna teach you everything, so that will take so much time. So let's move forward with our project only. Okay. So just to keep it simple, let's start from simple. Okay. Just don't skip the lecture, the project, because I'm starting from zero, and gradually we will improve and increase our you know um, like difficulty level. Okay. So let's make here uh, a public like create job method. Okay. Public job create job. So we are making here a method to create job, and we are taking here job job. Okay. And then yeah, so let's add import here of job. Yeah. So we don't need to do anything. GPA will do it by itself. How it will do? So we have added here. We extends the repository with uh, GPA repository, and it will automatically connect with the entity which we have give here to connect with it. Okay. So and which we have auto-wired here, and so just simply just like that return and repository dot save, and we are passing here job entity. Just like that, it will create the job. Okay, and let's add another also. Get all jobs. So here it is create the job, and once it is created, so we will get all the jobs. Okay, and we are gonna use some mappings also. Job and get job. Okay, and job of job, and then just like that. Uh, but I think we should get the jobs just like a list. So just get the job like list of jobs, and then get jobs. So it will get all the jobs in form of list. If it is one job, so we can add only one, get one job. But there might be so many jobs, so we have to get so many jobs at a time, right? And return repository dot get all find all. Yeah, find all. This is the method is already defined in the repository layer. This repository layer. So let me show you that also. So this is the find all method. It will find all the you know all the entities, all the tables what we need. So it will find it all the jobs from the database, and it will provide us. Okay, that is just simple. And let's implement it in the controller so that the flow will be you know will be remain constant, because you might be getting bored of these things. So job controller, and add here request mapping like that, request mapping, and here we will it is our base URL of job. Okay, so yeah, so let's implement here um, post mapping and get mapping, which we have already created method of it here. Okay, so firstly we have to auto wire. We have to auto wire the service job service dot and service. Okay, we have made its instance of that job service method, and let's make here post mapping. Oh shit, post mapping, and then in post mapping we are um, like sending the jobs to database. So post or like add it will be the best. Okay, so add, and then public job of public job upload jobs. Have we added upload jobs there? Create job. Here we have to add create jobs, and then job of job, and then simply why it is showing so many errors. I think job has not imported. Yeah, and so to create jobs, we have to just simply return service dot create jobs. Oh, here we can make upload jobs, so nothing matters. Okay, and yeah, yeah. So here has been done, and so post mapping, and it's time to implement gate mapping into. Okay, so let's implement gate mapping. अय तू निघतो बाहेर, इथं रेकॉर्डिंग सुरू आहे ना भांगलेल्या. बाहेर निघ जा. It's time to implement gate mapping. So it will work on the get URL. Okay, and let's make a method for it. Public list of job, and then um, get all jobs. Okay, and here also we are taking gate mapping means we have to request a use request param. So let's use a notation called request parameter. So it will fetch all the jobs. Okay, so job of job, and then return service dot get jobs. Yeah, just simple as that. And so it's time to configure our Postgres as well. Okay, so firstly let's put the Postgres to open. So it will take some time to open. So till then, let's configure it in application dot properties, like application dot yml file. Okay, so let's configure it. It is taking so much time. Yeah. So convert it into yml. Okay, so yml fits better instead of application dot properties. uh, yeah, and nothing matters. What fits you, that matters. Okay, so server dot port. So we are running our application on 8080, and it's time to configure our Postgres. And whatever the database you are using, nothing matters. Just you have to configure here. You may know already. Okay, everything. It's time to paste here. Yeah, it will work fine, and it will work fine, I think. So okay, it's time to run it and check everything works fine, right? So from here, and from here also, from anywhere we can run the application, or by pressing F5 also we can run our application in VS Code. But yeah, one thing is remaining. We haven't created the database that we have used in application.yml file. Okay, jobs database. I think that database is already available in my jobs database. Job portal. No, it is not available here. So that's why we will need to create another database. So job db. Yeah, it is our data. This is our database name. So let's create a new database here, and name it job db, and yeah, just simple as that. So it's time to run our application, and let's run it, and we'll see whatever the problem will come. Okay, so it's time to run. So as we can see, um, our application is running, and yeah, our application is up and running, and it is running on localhost 8080. So it's time to check uh, it is working or not, right? So post, and we have to send the jobs. Okay, So job slash add. Okay. And whatever the other the things are in the entities we have to add here. Okay. So entities alt shift and ID is also remaining. But ID is auto incrementing, so we don't need to take care of ID. But yeah, for safety, let's implement ID also here. So we have added everything. It's time to make it colorful. Okay, and it is taking so much time. I supposed to, you know, copy and paste it, but I didn't do that. Let's do it fast. Okay, okay. So it's time to name ID1. So ID is not required. Name equal to job name, software engineer, software engineer, and I think colon is required here on that. Okay, job title, um, job name and job title is same. Okay, job name, software engineer, and title the software developer. I think we have made a mistake. We're supposed to add only job name or only job title, but yeah, nothing matters. Okay, software dev. Okay, and location Pune. Location is in Pune, and salary would be something like that. And company name, let's take the name of Wipro. Okay, so it's time to post our jobs. Okay, so let's click on send, and yeah, uh, it's sent successfully, but the job got into database is null. Let's check the database. Here you can see that the null values got entered into it. So why it happened? Um, let's debug it. So here uh, we were uploading the jobs, but we haven't added here the request body because we would require the body of job to upload job, right? So we have to add here annotation request body request body. Yeah, just like that. And let's try it again to upload jobs and let's see what will we get. Okay, so yeah, so it is entered successfully, and as we can see into database also, let's run the query again and look, everything is working fine, and data got entered, and it's time to fetch the data from URL. Okay, so what is the URL? Get. So get the data and get mapping and send. Again, we have got a bad request while we are getting the data. Let me see that what I have added here some uh, we are taking the parameters here. We don't need to take the parameters. Okay, so just cut this and get jobs also, and it will work fine. I think. Let's send. Yeah, we have got our jobs which are stored in databases. Okay, so let's copy it also again, and let's try to send again. So we will understand that it is working fine. Okay, and at the end of the video, I'll show um, all the files that how we implemented everything. Okay, so that if you haven't copied anything, so uh, you'll copy everything. Okay, and yeah, it is here, and uh, s- let's let's add some job for civil engineer and worker at Pune, and at company name will be something like that. I don't know any company in civil branch today, and let's send. Yeah, it sent successfully, and it's time to get. Okay, slash get the job, and get mapping and send. Yeah, so there are three jobs in database, so there that we can see. Okay, so it's time to move further and implement the post, like put mapping and delete mapping. Okay, so let's implement put mapping and delete mapping, and to do that, we have to work with firstly service, and then we'll work with um, our controller layer. Okay, so let's do that. Public. So firstly, we let's implement update job. Okay, public job of update job, and let's take here long ID, and then job job, and its parameter J. Okay, so J, yeah, it will work fine, or like yeah, J it will work. Yeah, so we have added J here. Uh, let's add here job is equal to repository dot find by ID, find by ID, yeah, find by ID, and then we'll provide the ID here. Okay, and or else if we didn't find it, so we will simply print it on null, and not it will not print null, it will print job not found. How? So let me show. So if job equal to equal to null, here it will null if no job exists of that ID. So then we'll print null, and then return or throw new exception, throw new exception, runtime exception, runtime exception that uh, job not found of ID, and then we'll print here the ID. Okay, plus runtime exception. So we have runtime exception, and simply check. Okay, and it's done, and it's time to if the job exists by that ID. So we have to get and set all the jobs. Okay, j dot um, set set job name. Let us see what we have in entity. So job name. So j dot set job name, and here not j job, and j dot get job name. That's it. And let's do it for all job dot set location, j dot get location, job dot set salary, and j dot get salary, and just like that, job dot set location. Location has been sent. So job set title, yeah, title, j dot get title. So one, two, three, four, and what is remaining? Job company name. So job dot set company name, j dot get company name. So yeah, it's time to um return. Like once it is all done, so it's time to return everything just like that. So return to repository that we want to save the jobs. Repository dot save entity job. Okay, and yeah, it's done. And let's add here again a delete mapping also, delete a service also. So directly, and then we will implement the both of those into controller. Okay, at a time. So public void. Why we are taking void here? Because we don't want to return whatever we delete. Okay, once it is deleted, so it will not return. It will show an error. So that's why delete job, and long ID. We are deleting the job by ID. Okay, and just like that, let's copy it here. It- Yeah, and the same thing we are doing here, but we are just deleting. Okay, so throw runtime exception. After that, um, repository dot delete and job. Yeah. So yeah, everything seems fine, and it's time to implement it in the controller. Okay, let's implement it in controller. Get so at that um, it is annotation of put mapping. Put mapping means update. Okay, so update put mapping, update by ID, update slash ID. So we are updating by ID, and public public jobs of update job of and we have to take here path variables because we have added here long ID. So at the rate path variable and long ID, and to ensure that this is the job, to delete that job. So at that request body and job of job. Okay, yeah, and it's time to delete the job. So return simply a service dot update job, not delete update job. So return service dot update job, and yeah, simply just like that. And it's time to add delete mapping also. Just to keep it simple, we are not adding the try and catch blocks here and if else statements here. Just to keep it simple, but we'll add it in future. Okay. So at the rate delete mapping, and here also we'll delete by ID, delete by ID. Yeah, just simple as that. And here we haven't added the okay. Yeah. So let's add here a method public string delete job, then path variable long ID. So by ID we are deleting job. Okay. And yes, service dot delete job, and job by ID. And just simple as that. We have to return it. So add here return, and job will delete successfully. Uh, or we can, uh, yeah, we don't want to delete, like we don't want to return the deleted job. So simply we have added here string. So we have to return job deleted successfully. Okay. Yeah. So everything seems fine. And it's time to check everything working fine. Okay. So let's run it again. Yeah, it was running. So what is our URL? Let's first delete the job that we have added null. Okay. So let's first delete the job. Here delete mapping, and uh, jobs slash delete by ID one. Okay. And let's delete it. Yeah. Job deleted successfully. And as we can see, and here we can see here were three jobs, we haven't refreshed it, and the first job has been deleted with ID 1. Okay, so it is delete is working fine, and it's time to update. Okay, update the job. Firstly, let's get the job, all the jobs. Okay, let's get all the job. Yeah, and we will be updating this number three job because we have added civil engineer, and that is not our field. Okay, so yeah, so let's uh, put the jobs here. Why it is showing like that? So, Why it is not showing color? I don't know. Yeah, it was in text format. Yeah, so it will show color. So it was its ID was 2, and we have added here 2 input mapping. So its ID is not 2, its ID was 3. So yeah, 3, and it's time to use put mapping here. So uh, we will just assign it as engineer, and here developer Pune, and job salary something like that, and company name TCS. Okay, and let's put the job, like update the job. Okay, and it has updated, and as we can see, and if you want, so let's get all the jobs. That will show you that everything is working fine, and here we got all the jobs, and here we have um, updated that job, as we can see here. Okay, so everything is working fine, and let me show everything to you, that that is very simple. We haven't added so many things into it. We'll add in future. Okay, so that is let me off. Yeah, so that is the entity, and this is a node. Let me show first services. Yeah, so this is the service layer. Okay, and this is the repository, and this is the controller layer. Okay, and yeah, let me show application.yml also. This is the application.yml, and here would be your database URL and username. Okay, and here database password, and yeah, just like that. And in POM XML also, let me show you the configurations, the dependencies we have added. Lombok, and um, Lombok dependency. Let me go into dependencies. Yeah, Spring Boot starter test, that is additional, and Lombok, Postgres, and DevTools, and uh, starter web and data JPA. So these are we have added, and so today's agenda has been completed, and as we expected, everything is working fine. And so it's time to like in upcoming videos we'll be enhancing everything more and more clear, and okay, so we are gonna work with controller and service mostly, and once it is done, so um, you know we will uh, keep it as it is, and we will make another service, like user portal, and then admin portal, everything, and then we'll add some security also into it. Okay, so stay tuned, and keep practicing, and thank you for watching, and like, share, and subscribe.